Welcome, foolish mortals, to Halloween Treats, presented by the Look Back Machine. For the entire month of October, we bring you 31 episodes on 31 flicks. So sit back and relax on your broomstick. We have blood-curdling boogeyman and sadistic serial killers. From castles to were-rabbits to spine-chilling spine-tinglers. Oh, but that's not all. It's only a bit. There's also Dahmer, Dracula, and Wallace and Gromit. So turn down the lights and turn up the sound. And ready your heart, for it's about to pound. Because there's Halloween film history abound. Happy Halloween from the Look Back Machine.
Can of Worms was released in April of 1999 and is largely a forgotten Disney Channel original movie. It certainly doesn't help that it was sandwiched between classics like Xenon and The 13th Year. The film was made during a period when Disney Channel movies were still trying to establish their brand. And Can of Worms has a style all its own, with a variety of puppet creatures that would be more comfortable in a live-action, real monsters than a DCOM. The film is based on a book by Kathy Mackle about Mike Pillsbury, who shoots an SOS into outer space for aliens to come save him from his lowly existence. Fittingly, the plan goes awry when a multitude of aliens come to Earth offering their planet as a sanctuary, with the exception of the evil Thode. Better yet, if you like seeing Malcolm McDowell, star of Clockwork Orange, be tickled while playing a talking dog, well, then this is the film for you.
Many here who feel out of place point their heads down, but not you, Mike Pillsbury. You look to the stars. Remarkable. If you wish, you may scratch me behind the ears. That's pretty. Yeah, that was delightful.
Director Paul Schneider.
Anyway, it came about really basically because of You Lucky Dog. You know, they said, well, you know, there's a teenage man and a dog or two, so you know, call Schneider. that was it. You know, it was kind of like, well, hey, you know, why mess around? He's already done something, and let's you know, just call him up and sign him up for this one. I would say Can of Worms was a much more difficult project. I read the original script, and it was unbelievably big scale for a TV movie, and it had space aliens and spaceships and all kinds of things. And I spoke with the producers and told them that if the budget was, you know, $3.5 million, they had like a $7 or $8 or $9 million script. So they made a lot of cuts and we made changes, but it was still challenging. It was a challenging piece to do, I think. The script was at least twice as expensive as the budget that they had. And, you know, the way it works is when, you know, if you say to Disney, yeah, okay, we'll do this for $3.5 million, but it's really an $8 million picture, you know, heads would roll. And so, you know, we worked with the writer to make changes and adjustments to try to make it doable with the budget that we had.
Why did they run?
A Thode? The worst worm is about to crawl out of the can you opened up, Mike Pillsbury. He'll find the choicest specimens and snatch them, and then he'll tell his friends.
I think Disney, you know, they balked at a number of things, especially the creature, which scared me because they wanted to cut back so much on it. So it was tricky. It was very tricky. We had budgeted, you know, X amount of money for the creature because we really wanted to be sure that it was, you know, effective. It just was more money than Disney really wanted to pay, and they cut it almost in half. And then one of the executives, whose name I won't mention, suggested we do it with a guy in a suit, and it was just, I practically, I got sort of ill hearing it, because I thought, oh God, this is, and we had to really work hard to convince them that we needed at least a reasonable amount to do it properly. It was just, we were trying to do something as good as we could make it, but we were, it was expensive. I mean, there were animatronics involved earlier, in the treehouse, and it was just an ambitious piece. And that way, we could use the treehouse itself to kind of hide, a lot of the guts of the animatronics. If we had tried to go beyond that, we would have been completely outside of our budget. And then, one of those classic things that they don't even, talk about too much, we were shooting that in November in Vancouver, British Columbia. And in Vancouver, British Columbia in November, it rains all the time, day and night, all day. So we realized we really couldn't pull off that whole what happens in the backyard if we were going to be shooting outside. So the producer, we talked to Disney about having to build that as a set in the studio, and which we did. And they were incensed because it was another 100,000 or whatever. And all I can say is that if we hadn't done it, there would be no can of worms, because it did rain every single day in November. It was amazing. So it just was unshootable outside, especially, guys, you can imagine some of that animatronics and stuff if it got wet. It's one of those pieces where I think I really thought some of the scenes turned out quite well. And so there are individual scenes that I think really, I was happy with. Overall, I'd have to say, I don't know that we got all the way where we were hoping to get. And, but that's almost always the way it is. I mean, I'm sure there's directors that they make a film and they go, that was perfect. Couldn't do any better. But I'm not like that. It's like, I'm always thinking of like what I could have done or what I should have done or something like that. But it was a very interesting piece to make. It definitely was. I mean, I love those kinds of fantasy, imaginative pieces. But it was a very hard show to do, I think.
Saturday, April 10th. It's the world premiere of a Disney Channel original movie. For Mike Pillsbury, life on planet Earth has never been easy.
You idiot, you're running the wrong way!
So he sends a call for help into outer space. Can of Worms, the Saturday premiere of a Disney Channel original movie. April 10th at 7, 6 Central, only on Disney.
It was a nerve-wracking show. Unlike Lucky Dog, which for me was relatively easy because it was all sort of done in front of the camera with the dog and everything else, and that was all stuff that I felt pretty comfortable about doing. The Can of Worms, you're also dependent on your effect people and everything else, and you're trying to make sure that what you shot is going to work for them, and it was probably a little more of an ambitious piece than we really had the money and time for. So I think I was anxious the entire time.
Thanks for listening to Halloween Treats, presented by the Lookback Machine. Stay tuned for the entire month of October for an episode every single day till November.